What do you do?
I'm an architect.
It's the architect, and congratulations to Keith Thurman on getting that dub tonight. Keith Thurman defeats Danny Garcia, 12 rounds, unanimous decision. And listen, I'm gonna be honest, I was rooting for Keith Thurman to win this fight, man. You know, I like Danny as a fighter, smart fighter, man. You know, doesn't have great physical tools, but just very smart, very consistent, good at a lot of things, and like I said, tough. But listen, man, I'm gonna keep it real. Danny Garcia's father, man, he made me want to Keith to win this fight so bad, man, with some of the, you know, his choice words. I'm not gonna dig all into that again. If you listening to one of his videos, I mean, you listen to my video right now. You listen to and seen the other videos that happened, because you're not just gonna run up on this video randomly. You got to be somewhat of a boxing nut in the first place. But anyway, yeah, Keith Thurman pulled it out. I figured Keith Thurman was, I mean, let's be real. I think a 12-round unanimous decision via Keith Thurman was what a lot of people felt was going to happen. But let me get into this fight, man. Listen, Keith Thurman came out strong, very strong. He wanted to set the tone. I think he said before, a lot of times he comes out strong in these fights. I remember once he said Bengetti told him, you know, let people feel the power early. This is several fights ago, I believe. He wanted people to feel the power early, to know, you know, basically what they getting themselves into. And then you basically make your adjustments and move along the fight as you should. And listen, man, Keith is a super smart fighter, man. But Danny Garcia took some shots, man. Almost went down in that first round. He took a couple big shots early in the first several rounds. And, you know, I got to give it to him, you know, like, you know, Danny's tough, man. He's got a great chin. He went up there and fought a real welterweight who hit hard, and he was able to stand up. I knew it was going to be problematic for Danny early. And the reason I knew this, because I seen Danny started going on the back foot early, started dancing just a little bit. And I said, he understands he's in there with a real one. Real strong guy stronger than him. And he's going to have a little bit of a struggle. Nevertheless, Keith Thurman, you know, towards midway through the fight, started boxing a lot more, mixing it up here and there, getting in, getting out, used his jab a lot. You know, Danny was able to get a few counters. He got some good shots, but he was never able to get into a real rhythm. I mean, he had some flurries here and there, but you could just tell he was uncomfortable all night. And I said, you know, you could tell, you know, how nervous the corner is, Danny's corner is, because, listen, man, Angel always, I was calling it out. He does this. He goes, Danny, come on, Danny. When he starts doing that, you're like, yeah, that corner's looking a little, they know what time it is right now. But listen, I'm going to keep it real. Keith Thurman, I'm all for boxing. You know, moving, sticking, and jabbing. I'm all for what his corner, I didn't love what his corner was saying towards the end of that fight, because I knew the directions they was giving him seemed very Marquez, Pacquiao 3, I believe. Or Marquez lost basically on that last round, or last 2 rounds, or whatever it was. And they was just basically telling him, Keith, he kind of won. They basically were saying he won the fight from like round 10 on, I believe. And I was like, you don't really want to do that. And Danny was getting a little confident and was starting to, you know, land some shots. I think it was, if I'm not mistaken, that 12th round. I gotta watch the fight again, but I believe it was the 12th round. He caught Keith with something very pretty nice. Keith felt it. Keith looked like, you know, he was trying to shake it off and just get through, because they felt like they won the round. But I felt like Keith was moving just a little too much for my liking. particularly those last 3 rounds, probably even the last 4 rounds, felt like he's the bigger man. He's one time. It shouldn't be run time like I heard someone else say. I can't remember where I heard that, but I'm not going to take credit for it. But I definitely heard that. You want to see, definitely didn't want to see him moving a lot. I don't like to use the term running because he was boxing, and using that jab and trying to get in and out. But I just thought it was a bad look. I think the one time thing is getting a little, overkill and dead for me now. And he might have to, reinvent himself, like some others, and switch it up because, he's not just knocking these guys out anymore. The competition is higher, and Keith is boxing a lot more, man. He's not sitting down on those punches. He's respecting his opponents, but nevertheless, man, Keith did something tonight that was great. He unified 2 titles in the division, man. It was a beautiful thing to watch, watching Keith for a while, man, and just seeing how Keith has progressed. How Keith, a lot of the things he was saying he was going to do, except for, knocking everybody out, he's doing, though. He's doing that. And the way he breaks down these fights after even his own fights, man, brilliant guy, man. Brilliant guy when it comes to boxing and understanding. Yeah, it's looking like the clarity we haven't had, for everybody besides Mayweather for all those years. And even he was, could have done some things that I'd probably prefer to see. But the clarity is starting to happen in this division with the rest of the guys. And hopefully Keith Thurman, will fight the winner of Earl Spence. And listen, let me say this. Keith Thurman, one of the biggest problems I watched with Keith Thurman for a while now, and it's been stated by a lot of people, and in this fight, man, I feel like he would have beat Danny up a whole lot more if he had an inside game, a much better inside game. I just don't see it, man. I just don't see his inside game in any way, shape, or form. Like, I'm just confused. And if he can get that up, Keith could be almost unstoppable. But listen, if Earl Spence is what I think, and I don't want to get too much into a next potential fight, but if Earl Spence, but let me stop. I'm going to talk about this because I want to see an undisputed welterweight champion. I think that's very important. I think we need that in the sport, especially with, as hot as this division has been for a while now. We deserve it as boxing fans. But I'll say this. If Earl Spence is what I think Earl Spence is, and we're going to see when he fights Kell Brook. Well, if Kell Brook gets in the ring, but I might make another video about that. I won't believe that until I actually see them in the ring. Not saying that Kell Brook won't fight him, but we've seen Kell Brook hop out of fights before. But anyway, if Earl Spence is what I think he possibly may be, I can see him giving Keith Thurman a lot of problems. And the biggest difference would be that inside game, man. And yeah, so hopefully that fight happens at the end of the year. Hopefully, I prefer to see Earl Spence win against Kell Brook, and then we get Thurman and Spence at the end of the year. But once again, congratulations to Keith. One time, new time, switching to something else. But you're still a winner. You still a beast, dog. It's the Architect, and I'm out this joint.